Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Thursday. It's August 25th, and I'm here to give you a stitching update. I've been working today for a couple of things. One, it's a whip go-go that I'm still trying to finish. And two, I was able to use it for a prompt. It didn't meet the prompt. I used it for what we call alternate stitches. Since I was stitching a lot on this today, I knew I would get enough stitches to do double what I needed to. And as long as you do an extra 100 stitches, you can use any whip you want, whether it meets the criteria or not in this Facebook group. So I actually was able to get 584 stitches, and the maximum I needed was 200. So I've more than met the 100 extra. I've actually doubled what I needed, and that is okay because I wanted to make some really good progress on this new start. So I'll show you again. This is my new start for Whip Go for the month of August. It's called Spring Quilt by Stoney Creek. You saw it in my last video because I had just started it, but today I got a little more work done on it. So I'll share that with you. So when you first saw this, and it just cracks me up that that's looking blue because it is just as red as it can be in real life. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I had a color missing in here, and I had little blanks everywhere. So that color has been filled in. It is now solid. Now I think you can see it's red. Anyway, I got that color in. It was color 503, so it was one of these beautiful blue-green colors. Then I went ahead and did all the back stitching for this piece, and it was heavily back stitched. Everything in there practically is back stitched. Every little section and color difference is back stitched. It's hard for you to see that, but it is. Anyway, then I went ahead with my 310 and I extended the top border on over all the way. This should be the other side, but just in case I've miscounted, I didn't come down here yet. So instead I came back over here and I came over this way, and I did that to start the square for the corner, which defined the middle. And I had a bit of black thread left, and I just ran my thread out here so I could use the rest of it. And then I started working on the middle section. This word says spring, and then it will, there's some words in here that I need to back stitch, and then there's some back stitched little branches and leaves with the little flowers cross-stitched all around them. So they're just going to be all kinds of starting and stopping. A lot of pin stitches are going to be needed in this thing because they're just one strand all in here for little tiny branches and flowers all the way across. So it'll be a lot of stopping and starting. So I just went ahead and finished the back stitching here as well, and decided to stop there. So that's how far I've gotten on the new spring quilt. But in the meantime, I'm going to get back to straightening and putting everything away. We are having dinner guests tomorrow night to celebrate Coco and my husband's birthday, and I have had the most fun putting together a menu from Coco's perspective. So we're having a bark-BQ instead of barbecue, and we're having potato chips, and we're having fetch sticks instead of pretzel sticks. You know, all kinds of little snacky food that I have named as if it were what Coco would call it. Because it's her birthday party, so she got to set the menu. Isn't that fun? It was just a cute way to acknowledge that she turned 3. So we had to postpone the party because of my COVID, so we're just now getting to have it. So we are a bit late on the birthdays, but that's okay. Anyway, I think it'll be great fun. In the meantime, until I have something more to share with you that I've stitched, or a book review, I'll wish you happy stitching. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, August 27th, and I'm here today to share with you my stitching so far. I got started a little bit mid-morning, I guess, today. Did a few things in the house, had breakfast with Coco, just a few things that I needed to get done before I could get started. But today I wanted to work on a prompt for one of my adventures, one of my challenges. And this prompt required me to stitch on something that had snow. And so I chose this. This translated means snow and mountains. So I thought this wonderful Madame Lafie pattern would be perfect because it definitely has lots of snow. This was one of my new starts in July, and I had worked a little bit on the brown border for the windows, and today I added another 451 stitches into that same structure of outlining the first row of windows across here. I feel like once I get the first row of windows outlined, at least in this one color, then I could go in and maybe stitch inside the windows for a little bit and give myself a break. So I'll do a little border and then I'll do what's inside. But I think 451 stitches was great. I only needed 200 for the prompt, but this was a wonderful stitch to do while I was talking to my friend Marissa, who lives in Canada, and we finally got to catch up today, and I was so tickled to do that. In fact, we started stitching probably around 11 this morning, and we were just talking away and stitching, and all of a sudden Marissa said, "What time is it? I'm getting a little hungry." And y'all, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. We had really been enjoying our stitching time, and the only thing that drove us from it was hunger. So I hope that you do that on occasion, that you get busy stitching with your friends and you just lose all track of time. It's wonderful. Anyway, that leaves me only one final prompt for that particular challenge. Now, a new one went up Friday. I haven't even read it yet. I'm gonna go look at it now and decide if I'm gonna try to stitch for it or not. But it's the 27th of August, and I wanna get ready for my ABCingo for September. And so I've got my board ready. I've got all of my patterns picked out and what I'm going to do for each letter. And I did have a question. Someone asked me today, what had I used for X and what had I used for Z? And so I had to be creative on these. For the X, I decided to use the abbreviation Xmas, and I'll pull it out here so I can tell you the exact one I used it for. But I used it for Xmas Sentiments, Christmas Sentiments. That was the one I was going for. And then for my Z, I had to describe the piece, and I said it was a zany piece. When Santa's away, the mice will play. So those were the two I had to be creative to get with my X and Z. But I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was a great question. I have a few others that I used the fabric for. I used Ada for A because I'm stitching my small gift on navy blue Ada. And then I also used for D, this time I used the words dotted fabric. And that's for my St. Nick's Berry because it's on dotted fabric. So those were the way that I met some of them that were challenging for me. And so I hope you'll do something just as creative and enjoy it. That'll be great fun. But I am delighted to have gotten a lot more work done on that first row of window pane there in my snow and mountains. And I will hopefully get to pull that out again next month because it's on my ABCingo. And I haven't decided whether I'm only going to do the 100 stitches a day and then stitch on other things, or if I'm just going to let that be my project for the day and change out every day. I'll have to see how I'm going when it works out. But anyway, glad to have my prompt met, glad to have that part done. And I'm gonna have to now look and see what else I need to stitch on to finish up things before the end of the month that I wanted to get done. So good progress today. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a good Saturday, a good weekend. My husband's out for a long run. He's hoping to get to run 2 hours and 45 minutes today, working toward his marathon time. So I wish him well for that. It's a cooler day today. It's not quite as hot as it has been. So I hope that'll help him out a little bit. Well, y'all, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. If I get more stitching done today, I'll certainly come back and share it with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is later in the day on August 27th, and I was able to get a little more stitching in today, so I get to come and share it with you. One of the things that I did was to look at the numbers that J.C. Marie pulled for Whip Go today, and I also looked ahead sort of at my ABCingo to see what all I needed to prep, if anything, to get ready for that. When I looked at my Whip Go board, the numbers called were 3 and 22. So number 3 for me is Enchanted Alphabet. I've finished that one already, so that I get to turn blue right away. Doesn't give me a bingo, but at least it gets me closer. Number 22 I hadn't done because it is to work on a whip closest to a finish, to do 10 hours or finish it, whichever comes first. Well, I had just been talking to my friend this morning, Marissa, saying that I didn't have any whips that I felt like were close to a finish, that everything I had was either at the beginning or about halfway, and I didn't have any one particular whip that I felt was the closest to being finished. However, I did remember that I had decided I was going to work on Merry Ho 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 this coming month as one of my focus pieces for my animal adventure and hopefully get it finished. I had the border stitched and the head down to the beard, just stopping at the face, stitched, and the first word. So one of the things I thought, well, I could go ahead and get started on it, get a little work done on it today so that it would qualify as my whip closest to a finish when September rolls around, which is just a few days from now. So I just wanted to put some stitches in it and kind of push it over that line of being the closest whip I had to a finish. So that's what I did. One of the things that I had decided to do on this piece was to put some specialty fibers in it. So here's where I'm at. This hat right here, the white part of it, has been done with a special fiber that's called, it's a Rainbow Gallery fiber, and it's a white, very sparkly fiber. It's called Petite Silk Lame Braid, and it's number SP300. It's white, and you can see the silver little sparkles in it there. That's what I stitched the white on the cap with. So then I thought, well, I want the beard to look more natural, and I want it to look fluffy. So I'm stitching the beard with Whisper. So today I started out, I stitched the outline all the way around the beard, and then I came back in with my Whisper and I started filling in all of the little crooks and crannies all around it to give it more of an even margin, so that as I get ready, this is great fill-in stitching to do while I'm talking on the phone or at a stitching meetup, and I thought I'll get this one ready. Well, I had a whole card of Whisper thread, and right now I'm down to one last strand that's probably going to be one last strand that I get to work, and I'll be out of it. And that little piece that's left will probably fill up this little space right here. and then I'll have all this left to do. So, since I want to work on this for my whip closest to a finish for next month, I went ahead and put in an order tonight on 1 2 3 Stitch for my whisper thread, my white whisper thread W88. That's a Rainbow Gallery floss as well, and that's what I'm using for this. And so I have ordered in a couple of those because I don't want to get one and run out again. So I'll get two because I don't mind keeping one in my stash. This was in my stash, that's why I decided to use it. So I think that this will very much put this in a position of being my closest whip to a finish. I actually stitched, forgive me for having to look, 400, no, it's over here. I actually stitched 483 stitches today to get that beard started and outlined and ready to go. So I'm excited about that, and I definitely feel like it's now looking close to a finish because I have the beard, the two words ho ho, and then I just have the red in his jacket that's right on these two sides, and a green mitten. And then I am going to use a star button on here instead of stitching the gold star. I have a gold star that was in my stash, and I'm going to put it on here. So I think, you know, that'll be fine, and I think I should be able to finish it next month when it comes up. So I'm really happy about that. So today I felt like I did a little bit of work getting ready for my September Whip Go pull. And I think that's awesome. I was going to show you the little gold star I had in my stash, and I think it's about the right size. So there you go, little gold star. And I'll put that in there. So now I can put all this away, wait for my whisper thread to arrive before I work on it anymore, and go from there. But that was the extra little bit of stitching that I was able to get done today after I finished working earlier today on the piece that I've already shared with you. So that's been a really, really good day. I've had a great day of stitching. It's awesome. I think that's it. I don't think I have any more news or anything I need to share with you. We're supposed to spend the day tomorrow afternoon, I think, with our son. We're going to get together, and now that I'm over COVID, we're just going to spend the afternoon together and visit and talk and hang out together for a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it. And I will be sure and pass along all the happy birthday greetings from you all. Thank you for that. And other than that, I hope you are having a great weekend of stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and it is Sunday, August the 28th, and I would like to share with you what I was working on today. So, I decided to continue working on my Whip Go goal, and my Whip Go for this month is the top border of this spring quilt. So today I worked on the center section of the top border, and I got it finished. So I want to share it with you. So here we are. This looks like it's a very little bit of stitching. It's actually 388 stitches all total. But the only thing I had done in here was the word spring. And I did the rest of the lettering tonight, and I did all of the back stitching of all those leaves and stems, and then the little tiny pinpoint stitches for all the flowers. And because this is a very light fabric, I did pin stitches for all those little flowers. So it was only 388 stitches, but it took a bit of time to do. simply because you had to stop and start and stop and start and stop and start the whole time. I did do a word at a time because I was only carrying my thread one space between the letters, and I thought that's not too bad, but between each word I ended my threads and started over again. So there you have it. So now what's left for me to complete this whip go goal will be to replicate this additional corner. This quilted looking corner has to be stitched and back stitched over here, and then that will be the top border that I said I wanted to get done. But I wasn't going for any more prompts this month, and I just thought that that would help me to push that whip go goal closer. And since it was a busy day today, we did, you know, our church this morning and then lunch together, and then this afternoon or early evening we spent with our son, hanging out and visiting with him, and I didn't start stitching until after we had dinner. So it was pretty late before I could get started. So I was looking for something that was a little bit simpler to do or a little bit easier to read the pattern, and that worked out great. That just fit the bill beautifully. So now I'm looking ahead at next week at the very end of August, and I have so far, I've got planned a fairly open day tomorrow. We are hosting some friends for dinner to celebrate his birthday. I'm throwing a dinner for them just for my husband and I and the other couple. We're keeping it small. But until then, I get to stitch. So I don't know what I might want to pull out tomorrow. I don't have a prompt to tell me what to stitch, so it'll just be whatever I'm in the mood for. And that's kind of different for me. I do take longer to decide what to stitch on, and I feel like sometimes that's a little bit frustrating for me because I feel like I'm wasting my stitching time. I don't know how y'all do that every day, but I am looking forward to being able to pick something, whatever I want to do, and work on it, and just see where I get to on it. So wait and see. It'll be a surprise for me as much as it is for you. So until I have more to share with you, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Dina, and this is my update for Monday, August 29th, and I'm here to show you what I've been stitching on today. I decided today that I needed to get a little bit of work done on a piece that I started as a sal with two of my friends, Mary and Donna. And this sal is By the Bay. I am a needlesmith. We started this for World Cross Stitch Day, and I'm trying to get it where you can see it. There you go. It's late, and I have bright lights on up here so you can see, but that is the pattern, and I think it's a beautiful piece. And when I started it, I got the first couple of rows done and the big N that started the word Needlesmith. So today I stitched 507 stitches on it to carry it a little bit further, and this is where I got. I finished the word Needlesmith, and I started the big tree and the big hanging leaves on the tree. So that is where I'm working across now. I think I'll come on over here and do the rest of the tree next time, possibly. And then I want to come up under the word here. There's a flower that sort of connects with the rest of the picture, and that will place everything. So I want to put that in there so I have it all, you know, in the right spot. So that's where I'm at so far, and I'm extremely happy about that. This is about almost all the way over, so it's only going to be about that wide. So it's a smaller piece, just a lot of full stitching in there. I'm very, very happy about my progress today. So thanks for letting me share that with you. It's been a good day today. We have had dinner with some friends to celebrate the husband's birthday that's coming up in a couple of days, and tonight just seemed to be a better night to get together, and had a good time with them here. And they were so tickled because Coco took a couple of treats from them. She still won't let them pet her yet. She's so shy when it comes to meeting people. But she did take treats from them, and they were both thrilled when that happened. So that's a good thing. Otherwise, today, I am thinking that I may go back and pick up my Whip Go project now and get started on that final corner. Because if I could finish that in the next couple of days, I will have met my Whip Go goal in the month of that it was called, which will be great, I think. And I have to work on something for September that is my closest to a finish. And I'll be working on that, you know, along throughout the month of September while I'm doing my ABCingo. So I'm ready for that. I'm looking forward to it. One other thing. When my husband left today, he was singing in a choir at a local funeral. It was a member of our church whose daughter lost her husband this past week to senseless violence. Someone just came in and shot him. It was horrible. But our choir sang, and I still can't sing quite yet. I keep coughing when I try to sing, so I didn't go to sing. But when he left to go do that today, Coco came running up the stairs and came over wanting me to love on her, and I tried to get some footage of it. I grabbed the camera pretty quick and tried to capture her just to show you what she does when her daddy leaves. She doesn't have anything to do with me till he leaves. And then she wants me to love all over her. It's so sweet. And you know, I enjoy every minute of it. So I look forward to that. So I'll try to put that at the end for you for your little Coco venture today. And hope that you enjoy it. In the meantime, everybody, happy stitching. Hi everyone, good evening. This is Dina, and I am here to talk with you about my stitching for today. It's been a busy day, and it is the Tuesday. It is the 30th of August. So I started working on this project yesterday, and I got quite a bit of work done on it, and I decided I was going to work on it today until I finished my Whip Go goal. So I'm talking about my new start for the month of August, spring quilt, and my Whip Go goal was to stitch the entire top border, and I did. I'm so excited about it. There are a couple of things that I want to share with you about it as I talk with you. I didn't notice them right away, so this will be very interesting when I share it with you today, but there you go. There's the right colors in there with the red. I have to tilt it so my light will hit it. It's at night, sorry. If you are one of those eagle-eyed viewers that I have that notice things like this, you just amaze me at how much you can see. These two squares are not identical. The border, the strip that goes around the outside of this heart in both corners, use the same color combinations and the same designs, but they flip them. So the designs that are on the bottom and this top are on this top and this bottom. So they've turned them around so that the colors and the patterns are opposite of each other. And I didn't really notice that until I had stitched all of this outer section, and I started stitching these in here, and I was following the pattern. And then I glanced over here and realized, wait a minute, that's not the same. So I went and looked at the pattern at both of them, and they aren't the same. They have rotated them. So this little triangle here, or diamond rather, not triangle, but this diamond shape is just a little different as far as where the patterns fall. I haven't looked at the bottom, so I just took a moment to do that. So when you get to the bottom, this pattern will be down here, and this pattern will be down here. So isn't that interesting? I will tell you, this middle section, I started and did this first, and then I did this middle section in 1 day of stitching, and I did this in 2 days of stitching. I had small little snippets of time between yesterday and today, and I got it done. And all of this is that start and stop that I told you about. So it is an intricate piece. It's not hard, it just takes a little time. Now the next session or sections, they're going to be a little different, because if you look at them, they're larger in the middle, they're a taller blocks, and this is where the bulk of your stitching is, right in here. So looking forward to jumping into that. A little bit of confetti, but not terrible. They have a combination of, sorry, I hit my stand. They have a combination of confetti and blocks of color. So, and some of the colors that you're doing, the patterns repeat, you know, in that same block. So you can do a color completion in a section pretty well. But there's Spring Quilt, and that is my August Whip Go goal completely met. So let's do an update on that, why don't we? This is my Whip Go board now. I haven't reprinted it, I've just been coloring on it to update it. But this is my spring quilt finish. So look at what that did for me. I have a bingo here, and I have a bingo here. I got 2 bingos with that completion. And I don't even think I had realized I was gonna get both. I knew I would get this one. I don't think I had even seen that till I colored it in. And then I said, wait a minute, I have another one. Now this is the call number 3 for September, but since I've already done it, it was yellow. I just went ahead and colored it in so that when in 2 days from now, that one's already taken care of. And the one that I have to do for September is number 22. And that is my whip closest to a finish, or 10 hours or finish it, whichever comes first. And the whip that's actually closest to a finish right now is Merry Ho Ho by Lizzie Kate. And I got my notification today that my whisper thread that I had run out of on that beard last time I stitched on it has been shipped. So I should have it at least in the first few days of September. So that will be awesome. So Whip Go goal met. I'm real excited about that. 2 bingos because of it, which is awesome. Today when I was working on that square, I had about half of it left, or 2/3 of it left, somewhere in there, because I had to do all the back stitching and everything. But it was 411 stitches today. And I'm excited about that because I didn't get to start stitching tonight. I stitched this morning while I was talking to my sister Stephanie. She had to take another call from her vet. And so I got to stitch a little bit while I was waiting on her to call me back. And then I stitched this evening when I got home. I didn't get to start stitching until about 8:30. So it's a little bit late, but I got it done before midnight. So happy stitching until we meet again. Good night, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is August 31st on Wednesday night, and I'm here to give you a stitching update. I had said I wanted to work a little bit on Hawk Run Hollow and try to finish that second block this month. I didn't get to finish the block, but I did get to finish part of the block. So I'm on this block here, and I was able to complete the entire top half. What I have left now are the 2 sheep and the words. So I'll show you my stitching. Today I stitched 531 stitches, and this is where I got to. So I have finished this whole hill, the trees, this road. There was another color to it. And now what I'll do the next time I pick this up is I'll be down here where the 2 sheep are, and then I've got words at the bottom, and I will be able to finish that block. It may take a couple of more stitching sessions because of all the stitching in the 2 sheep. They take up a whole lot of room. So since it is the 31st of the month, today Jen Lee put up the acrostic for 24 hours of cross stitch, and I printed mine off today and filled it out. This acrostic for September says, "Make time for you." So I have gone through each letter and I have assigned one of my projects to each of these acrostics. So looking at the plans coming up, I have the Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic, the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch acrostic, and then I have my ABC Bingo, ABCingo, I guess we call it, and I have all of those. So as you can imagine, I am using some of the same projects for all 3. And so what I will do, I have to do at least 100 stitches for the ABCingo, and I could do the same amount for these 2 because I get to determine what my goals are on these 2. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to do any of the private challenges that are in the Facebook group that I also do the animal adventures in. I haven't seen what they're going to be yet, but I will be doing the animal adventures, and they haven't posted that one today yet, or at least last time I checked they hadn't. They may not post it till tomorrow, but I've got my form ready to fill out with the different animals that I have to find so that I can look for them. And this month I very well may just do 100 stitches for each one because I'm doing the ABCingo, and I already have 2 passes that I have accumulated through the year that would allow me to change out one of these 3 pieces that I'm focusing on for the animal adventures for the next month. And if I finish any of them, I get to swap them out anyway. I get to replace them. I'm thinking that Merry Ho Ho Ho, which is one of the 3 that I'm going to do for my animal adventures this month, I think I'm going to finish it in September by doing the animal adventures on it. So that would be one I get to swap out anyway. So I think it'll be great fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you have great plans for September. And in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Hello everyone, happy September. It is September 1st today, and it is the beginning of my ABCingo with the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. Today, on the 1st of September, the letter P was called. So I look on my list, and the letter P on my list is pandemic. So I pulled out my pandemic this morning and I got started. The goal is to make sure you get at least 100 stitches on the whip that is called in the ABCingo. So here we go. This is what I did today. I started right here in this little group of grapes, and there were 3 I needed to finish, so I finished those. And then I came on down and I did this little squirrel, and the whole thing that the whole motif that it's standing on, and the little squirrely cue over here, and the little flower that's back stitched here. So I just started up here and came straight down this way and did 424 stitches today in my pandemic. So I'm really glad to have been able to do that. I've certainly more than met the 100 stitch requirement. In addition to that, I am using my pandemic to meet one of my other goals, and that is the monthly magazine challenge acrostic. And the acrostic for that is Explore. And for the P in Explore, I was going to use pandemic. So the fact that I got the 424 stitches for pandemic means that I have met that goal as well, that prompt. So I've done my first day of the ABCingo and my first prompt on the magazine monthly challenge acrostic. And so there you go. I got more of the pandemic stitched right in here. So that gives you an idea of how it's looking. I'm excited about that. And so now I'm going to put it away, and I think I'm going to decide what I might want to stitch on next. I've had a couple of different ideas that I've been kicking around. I thought that I might grab Winter Quaker and see if I could do another motif in it every time I finished a prompt for ABCingo, or I might want to work more on Hawk Run until I get that block finished. So there's other different ideas that I've got running around in my head. I don't know what I'm going to decide to do, but I'll come back and share it with you, whatever it is. But I do think I'm going to put this one away for the day and go ahead and try to do something else. I very well may work on an animal adventure, because I have 8 of those to get in the month, which means I need to do about 2 a week. And I'm going to have to do that at least on the days after I hit, my morning stitch for my magazine monthly challenge for ABCingo. So we'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. But in the meantime, I'm happy to say I got off to a good start on ABCingo. I hope you did. And until I have something else to share with you, I'll let you get back to what you were doing. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everyone. It is September the 2nd. Our letter for today in ABCingo is V, and for me, that is going to be my Autumn in the Village. But yesterday, I actually wound up stitching on my pandemic first, and then I decided to go after an animal adventure. So let me share that with you first, because I didn't just get one, I got 2. I'm so excited. I got over 600 stitches yesterday, in my St. Nick's berry. So when I picked him up, I had his hat, face, and half of a beard done. So I finished the beard, did his entire jacket, and the bottom portion of the tree. I've got 3 little stitches on the top, I think, and then the trunk of the little tree. And then I have his 2 hands and what he's holding in his hands, and then I have the big banner that says Believe. So I'm excited about this one. I'm thinking a couple of more animal adventures on it, and it might be a finish. But this I got done last night, and it was so late when I finished stitching, and I was pretty tired, and I just wanted to go join Coco in bed. So that's what I did. So today I had a bit of a different start to my day. I have a friend from church who, I think I told you recently about her accident where her puppy tripped her or ran into her, and it knocked her off her feet and she dislocated a shoulder. Well, luckily she did not have to have surgery, but she has been in a very restrictive sling for several weeks, probably about 5 weeks or so now, maybe 6. But today was her day to go to physical therapy and then to see her doctor to hopefully get out of the sling. And it turns out, you know, when it rains, it pours. It turned out that they had scheduled someone to come and pressure wash their house, and they decided they were going to come today. So her husband had planned on taking her to her physical therapy appointment, waiting the hour for her, and then taking her either back home or out to breakfast, and then her doctor's appointment was 1 hour later. And he was commenting on that to my husband and I last night as we were talking about making plans to meet for dinner tonight. And my husband looked at me and I nodded yes. And he said, you know, if you need to be at the house, Dina can take your wife to her appointments, and she doesn't mind doing it. She's just sitting here telling me yes, you know, she would be happy to do it. So long story short, he was able to take her to her first appointment and drop her off. And I picked her up at physical therapy and took her to breakfast. And she treated me to breakfast. She wouldn't let me buy my own breakfast simply because I was driving her around, but she's sweet like that. And then we went to her physician's appointment, and I had my audiobook on my phone, and I just sat and listened to it for a few minutes while she was in there to see her doctor. And she did get permission to get out of her sling, and she got permission to drive. So that was a red letter morning. Let me tell you, that was great. And then while I was dropping her off, as we were driving down her driveway, my phone rang, and I just hit the button in the car, and this sweet little voice came across the speaker, and I recognized it immediately. It was Mindy from Hobby Lobby letting me know that my Enchanted alphabet was ready. So you know where I went, straight from my friend's house to Hobby Lobby. So I have it to show you today. Here is Enchanted alphabet, fully framed. I hope you like it. It's got a little bit of glare. I'm sorry about that. I've got harsh lighting on so you can see it. But I chose to pick up one of the greens, kind of one of the blue-green colors, and had it matted, just the one mat. And then I have this beautiful gold frame to pull out the gold in the flowers and her hair, because they're in there and they're beautiful, but you don't see them very much. And I think the frame helps to pull your eye to the center, which is where her hair is, that matches the gold. And I think it does really well. And I love the ribbon. I love how Mindy folded the ribbon to make it look like it's, you know, looped and just kind of hanging on that way. It's connected to the rabbit. I had this ribbon in my stash. It was a gift from my sister Stephanie. So Stephanie, you have a part in this. You gave me the ribbon that I tied around the little bunny rabbit and became her leash, so to speak, for the bunny rabbit. But here it is. I'm gonna back up so you can see it. There we go. This fabric is Heritage. Picture this plus. It's a beautiful green. So when I went to pick it up today, Mindy was so cute. I walked up to the counter and she said, "Hi, Dina, you're gonna love it." And I do. I think it's beautiful. And as we were walking up to the counter at Hobby Lobby, you don't pay for anything until you pick it up. And they walk you to the front with it and hand it off to the front end manager or the cashier that you're in line to see. And you don't get to put your hands on it as far as to carry it anywhere until after you've paid for it. I guess they just do that for security. But on the way up to the cash register, Mindy said, "I have been bragging on your needlework all week." She said, "I have shown everybody as I was working on it that works here." And she said, and then I started showing customers yesterday when she said when it was finished. She said, "I'm just so proud of it. It's so beautiful." And I thought that was really a compliment. They frame a lot there. And so for your work to stand out, I think is very special. And I think it's awesome that she cares enough about my needlework. She tries to frame it herself all the time because she takes such care in making sure that it's straight. when she's pinning it. So once again, here is Enchanted Alphabet, fully finished, fully framed, ready to go on my wall. Now this is the size you'll get if you stitch this on 28 count. So just wanted to let you know. That was a 28 counter. All right, I'm gonna put this down and then I'm gonna get busy stitching on my Autumn in the Village, and I will talk to you very soon, hopefully, and have something to share with you. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Friday, September the 2nd, and I'm here to tell you about my ABCingo for today. So today's letter was the letter V, and for me that was for village in Autumn in the Village. So this is what my Autumn in the Village looks like from Stoney Creek, and I did a center start up on this building right here, and I had a little bit of that roof done when I got started, and today I did 331 stitches. I know I only have to do 100, but I got on a roll, and I got part of the top of the house. This up here was what I had done before. I got all this done with the windows and everything, and then I started working around the sign on the front of the building. So 331 stitches, and this is 1/2 on 36 count. This is a fabric, flare fabric called Autumn, and I love it. So I'm enjoying the 36 count. I'm enjoying the 1/1 on 36. It's wonderful. Now, in addition to my ABCingo for this, there's another prompt or set of prompts that I decided to incorporate in the next 2 weeks while I'm doing ABCingo, and that is put out there by Carrie Pickering, and it is a closed group. But her challenge this week was about pirates, and so one of the prompts was to stitch on something that you that included a practical item. So this is what I'm using it for, that prompt in addition, because if you look at the buildings in here, especially like this one, and here's a larger version of it right there, you see the awning on the building, and they have thresholds that have little look like little roofs over them, little jut outs over them. But I was talking about the awnings being very practical for the customers that are coming into the store out of the weather, or out of the store into the weather. It gives them a place to take up their umbrella or let down their umbrella and to stand under in case of rain, sudden rain or whatever. But I felt like it was a very practical thing, and so I used this for that and was able to hit that prompt as well. And in that challenge, you can stitch either 300 or 400 stitches. 400 gives you the highest points, but because this was something where I was only required to do 100 to begin with, but I was enjoying stitching on it, and I thought, well, I'll just do the 300. So I wound up getting 331, so I went ahead and chose the lower number so that I would complete both the ABCingo prompt and the prompt in my weekly challenge. So there you have my stitching for the day on my Autumn in the Village. First time I've worked on it really since I got a good start on it. So I was delighted to get to pull it out again and get some work done on it. So I will tell you, tomorrow's Saturday. My husband's going on a very long run tomorrow, and for part of his training for his marathon. So I have invited a stitching buddy to come over who lives about 30 minutes from me, and she's going to come over sometime tomorrow while her puppy is at the groomers, and we're going to stitch a little bit. So I will be working on my ABCingo piece, whatever that is. I haven't even looked yet to see if it's been pulled, but that's what I plan on starting on. So I'll come back tomorrow, hopefully, share it with you. In the meantime, everybody, happy stitching, and if you're doing ABCingo, I hope you're getting off to a great start. Bye. Good night. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is Saturday, September the 3rd, and I'm here to give you a stitching update today. I pulled out the project that was listed on my ABCingo list for X because that was the letter drawn for today. And my project that I used for X was Xmas Sentiments. I abbreviated the word Christmas with Xmas so that I could fit my Christmas sentiments in as fitting the prompt. When I started on this, I had the bottom row, except for the beading, done. And today I added another row, and it was a total of 309 stitches, and I only needed 100, but I wanted just to do the whole row. And that was awesome, just to get that finished, taken care of. So there you go. The next thing I will do now will be the lettering for the faith, hope, love, joy, and peace across there. And then the next row you mirror that border that I just did turned upside down. So there you go. That's as wide as the piece is going to be. I will tell you too, I started on the left-hand side and started working my way over, and I was looking at the pattern to make sure that the repetition of the pattern was the same all the way across, that it was a 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 all the way. And I noticed when I got to the end that they stopped short. I'm going to show it to you here because they stitched it that way. If you notice, this border right here stops short before the E is finished, before the circle is finished, and it stops with just two of the row of two, the column of two, and then the next row would have been a 3, and then another 2 would have fit on there. Look up here, they did all the way out to the end on that one and went one space beyond the E at the top, but they didn't at the bottom. So I thought that was kind of odd. So I didn't do that. My friend Donna was here stitching with me this morning, and I shared it with her, and she said, I agree with you. I think that's an error. She said, I don't know why they did it that way, because they went all the way to the border here and started, and they didn't go all the way to the border over here. So I did. I just went all the way to the border. And I will do that on the top one because it's charted that way, but at least they'll match up. So anyway, I was glad that Donna agreed with me and kind of let me bounce that off of her today. So the next thing that I can tell you is that I have made the decision on what I'm going to do for a birthday start this year. And Donna actually asked me this morning, she said, you mentioned that you were going to tell us what that was, and then you didn't do it. And I said, because by the time I posted it, I hadn't decided. So I showed Donna about 4 choices today that I was considering, and one she ruled out right away because it was a Halloween piece, and it's supposed to be for my birthday, and my birthday's in December, and so she said, save that and do it for a Halloween piece. So I put that aside. And then we looked at the other 3, and she helped me narrow it down to 2. And then I just asked her to let me know what she thought of the 2 and which one would, if she were going to stitch them, which one would it be. And it turns out that she's planning on stitching it with me as a birthday start. So I want to invite any of you who would like to stitch this with me as my birthday start December 14th, then please feel free to do so. I know it's been a very popular design. Or if you have something that you want to stitch by this designer for my birthday, I think that would be awesome. But the one I'm going to start is Let Love Rain. I'm very excited about it, and I'll try to find the actual picture in here with the whole thing on it real quick for you. So here is the full piece. You've seen it, I'm sure, many a time before. So I got out the calculator, and Donna and I looked at this thing, and it's going to require a fat half of 32 count, whatever I do it I don't have a fat half in my stash. I order fat quarters whenever I order fabric. It's usually large enough for anything I stitch, but I don't have a fat half. So the called for here is Grandma's Slip, and we've been kind of looking for that today. I checked with Garon and they don't have it, and we've checked with the couple of other shops that Donna knew of, and we haven't heard back from them yet. But if I can't find that one, I'll pick a different color, but I don't have my fabric yet. But I recently shared with you that I was able to get the Vicki Clayton silks. And here they are. Lots of beautiful greens and golden colors, a couple of light colors. Really pretty palette. And of course there's a blue in here, kind of a blue-gray. Steely's is the name of it, I think. Yeah, kind of a steel blue-gray. And anyway, I have these Vicki Clayton silks. I've never used them before, but I thought that'd be a great way to test them out on something this beautiful. So I will put this away till December 14th. In the meantime, I'll be looking for fabric, and we'll go from there. So that's my birthday start coming up December 14th. So if you want to stitch a Teresa Kogut, or you want to stitch anything that, you know, by her, or if you want to stitch this with me, please join Donna and I for the birthday sale. So now I am going to be joining my hubby for dinner. We're gonna eat a little bit, and then if I get to come back and stitch tonight, I am going to pull back out my St. Nick's Berry and try to get another animal adventure on that. So I think that would be wonderful. I made so much progress on it so far. I've kind of got the itch now just to stitch it till it's finished and use it for as many animal adventures as I can till it's finished. All I have to protect is one for each of the other two, but I don't think it'll take more than a couple of animal adventures to finish the whole thing, so we'll see. Anyway, hope you've had a great Saturday. I certainly have. I was able to ride with Donna to pick up her little puppy, Harley. He had been to the vet and had been groomed, and so she dropped him off this morning, and after his vet appointment, she came up here and stitched with me. And then when we went to eat lunch, they called and said he was ready, so we swung by, picked him up, loved on him a bit, and then he was sleepy and tired, so we put him down for a nap. And we snuck back up here to finish stitching. So that worked out really well. Had a fun day. Donna, thank you. I've just had such a good time. All right. I will talk to you soon as whenever I have something new to share with you. As you know, I love to come and tell you all about it. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everyone. Hey, sweet girl. Hey, you come to see me? Huh? You come to see me? Want your ear scratched? Want your ear scratched? Oh, Coco says, hey. When her daddy leaves, Coco decides it's time for loving from Mama. And she comes running up here, up under my desk, up under my cross stitch. And she wants me to love on her. Yeah. Yes, she does. There you go, baby. She's hiding under my desk. Can you see her?
By the way.
Oh boy. That's really right.
So it's 2 over 2
Pumpkin.
on 32 count.
Hey. Hey. What you doing? What you doing, Coco? baby. Makes it a little more difficult to stitch when she's like this, but it doesn't last that long. I enjoy it while it's here.